Hi everybody, this video is going to show you how to take through Design Space a new SVG which makes this really big gift box which is intended for Christmas, but I think you could probably decorate it in different ways and use it all year round if you wanted to. This elf, obviously, this is a digital download, so the elf's not included. It's just that somebody asked me if I could have a go at making something like this. They'd seen them for sale somewhere, but they wanted to be able to make it themselves. So I've tried to sort of make my version of it. So that's one view of it there. It's got obviously four different sides, a front and a back, and then two sides. The front of it has this little heart-shaped cutout in the front gable, and there's a door trim there. That's the side window. That's what the box looks like when it's open, and it closes by slotting that curved tab into the other side, and then that little flap comes over and locks into that cutout, so it's really securely held. It's got these cord handles. Obviously you need to buy the cord to make those with about 2 feet. What did I use? Yeah, about 4 feet maybe. Yeah, each one was 60 centimeters, I think. Does that sound likely? Yes, it does. Yeah, it's all in the instructions anyway. You don't need to remember it. So you can see there the closure. This flap just goes inside that side of the box as it comes together, and then that little flap there tucks into that small cutout on the other side. Okay, so it's available in SVG and Silhouette Studio 3 and as a Canvas Workspace file. The Studio 3 files and the Canvas Workspace will be ready for you to split up and send to your mats. I always show the Design Space version because we can't make scores come in set to score, and quite a lot of people don't know how to do it if they're new to working with imported SVGs. It's different from a Cricut Access project in that you've just got to convert the score lines yourself, but it's really quick. So we'll go to Design Space now and we'll bring it in. I'm using the upload button there. It's already in, as you can see, but I'll do it from scratch. So upload image, this green button here. You can drag your file if you don't use full screen or if you've got more than one monitor, but I haven't, so I always click browse, and then I happen to be on it. So it's large house gift box 12 by 12. I was going to make a long version of it, that's why, but I'm actually just going to show you later on in the video how you can convert this if you want to cut it all in one piece from using the long mat. But so for now we're just going to stick with this 12 by 12 one. I might include the 12 by 12 in the downloader. I may as well have made it now, but I will show how you can do it yourself as well. So you just keep, there's nothing to do, obviously it's a true cut file. You can rename it there, top right, top left, pardon me, if you want to, but otherwise just click upload. Get rid of that window that opens there. I'll zoom out a little bit so we can see it. It's a large format file, this obviously, because this is a really big box. On one of the pictures somewhere, I think I had the dimensions, if I can find them. Oh no. Yes, there we are. The whole box is 8 inches square, which is pretty big, isn't it? 205 millimeters. And up to, from the bottom up to the fold here, where it meets the roof, that's 5.7 inches, nearly 6, 145 mil. And then right to the top of the peak, it's just under 10.5 inches and 265 mil. So it's a lovely big box. You can get loads in it. I'm also going to talk about later on in the video how you can make solid windows if you want them. It's super quick. So back to Design Space. So it lands on your canvas. It's already selected. Don't worry about that warning symbol there. It's just because everything's grouped at the moment. So obviously it's too big. Design Space thinks it's too big. So the first thing you're going to do is ungroup. For me, I'm using the desktop version as we just saw. Ungroup is the first of these 3 icons at the top of your layers panel here. So you just click ungroup. That lets you see the 2 groups within it. And the top, for my SVGs, and I think for most imported SVGs, that top group is where the lines that need converting to score live, and that's that little step that you have to do yourself because we can't make them come into Design Space set as score already. The second group here is where all the cut pieces are, so all we need to do first, select that second group down and just ungroup it. Then select that group at the top, go to your operations menu, click on where it says basic cut, choose score from the drop down, and you can see, I just zoom in a bit, that they've been converted now. And because there's more than one set, as you can see, they're still in that group, we need to ungroup those as well. Okay, so now everything on canvas is a separate piece, and we can attach the scores to the pieces that they relate to. And the quickest way to do that is just click on canvas somewhere near a piece, drag a box to more or less enclose it, and attach, which is there at the bottom of the layers panel. Or if you're on a PC like I am, you can just use Alt A on your keyboard. I'm going to use that just because it feels a bit quicker. So my scores are generally compound paths, so you don't need to go around the whole thing. You just need to sort of touch the score and the box, the cut piece, and it will attach it. Have I done that one already? No. And that's it, I think. Right, so I've designed this so it will cut from on the standard mat using 12 by 12. When I make things for the long mat, that's lovely, but I almost always end up having to break it up for somebody who just wants to use the standard mat. So I've gone the other way this time, and I'm going to show you an easy way to convert this to a long mat project towards the end. But for now, we've done everything we need to do, so I'm just going to click make. I don't need to save it, but you could save it there if you wanted to. It would be a good idea to, because then you don't need to go through all that converting scores again. So just for the purposes of this video, I'm going to choose 12 by 12. I tend to always cut, apart from the grey. I mean, that will fit on an A4 or letter. Yes, but we'll choose 12 by 12 since that's what we're talking about. And the red as well, that will go on 12 by 12 too. So if you were using 12 by 12 for this project, you'd need 10 sheets of card altogether, but it is a massive box. Don't let that put you off. And I could show you some other configurations, but I think that might be just labouring the point a bit. I used A3. You need 2 A3s for the white, and I think you actually end up needing... Oh, I will show you it actually. Yeah, you do need a whole sheet of A3 for each one, or tabloid, but you could... Let's see what happens if I choose... Where is it? There we are. Does it put anything else on with anything? No, it doesn't. Yeah, I think it looks like you still need... Let's just zoom out a bit there. Yeah, you won't be able to get a base piece on there, but I wonder if I choose tabloid, because you've got that extra length there. No, it's still doing it. It's still putting them all on. Yeah, the same number of sheets. Right, so we looked at 10 sheets of 12 by 12. If you want to use A3, you can do. It's not an especially economical cut though. Right, so I'm just going to press cancel because obviously I'm not going to cut it. And what I actually did with these, so that they would cut from one A3, and I'm pretty sure they did when I did this. I'll try it anyway. So I'm just going to center those horizontally, and I'm going to attach them and just get rid of those two and copy and paste that one. And I am putting them really close together. I'll just zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. I'm hoping it's just a bit more economical. If you're using A3, you can get all these on one sheet of A3. Pretty sure I did. Maybe A3 maximum print size is 406. So yes, you could. If you arrange them like that and you want to use A3 like I did, or A3 is all you've got in the card you want to use, which was my situation. I'd bought some really gorgeous 350 gram bright red card from eBay that only came in A3. It didn't come in 12 by 12, so I bought it in A3, and it did waste a bit when I'm cutting the house sides, but I could get all 4 of these on one sheet, so that's what I did. That's just a little, if you happen to be cutting on A3 like I did, that's just a little tip. Right, so we've done all that. We know how to cut it. It's really easy. Oh yes, I wanted to talk about the windows. So if you happen to want, I'm sure a lot of you will know this already, but some new users might not. If you happen to want solid white windows so you can't see into the box, if we just go back to a picture, yeah, so just imagine you wanted that white, which is currently just a border on the, I've used craft board there, but it could be anything, on the actual window frame. You might want the windows to be solid so you can't see through. I'm gabbling a bit, aren't I? But anyway, so you just select your white piece and then go to contour and just click those pieces out and use that piece in the same way. So in other words, you'll still pop that on there, but it will mean that you can't see into the box. So some people might like that. So I'm just going to undo that. If you wanted to be able to have the white window frame like it is now and the grey thing, but you wanted maybe vellum behind, then just copy and paste it before you do anything with it, and then do that contour thing again. And then choose a different colour, so you're telling yourself that you're going to cut that out of vellum. It can be anything, just that's different onto your mat, and do that with each of the frames. So I just showed you there how to have the solid white window frame and how to make a vellum one, which of course you would stick on the inside of your box then, and you'd use it behind the frames that you're going to stick on the front. Don't worry if you don't understand what I'm talking about there. You get a PDF of really detailed assembly instructions with tons of photographs showing you every single step. It's not a difficult piece, this, at all. Difficult to think about. You do need to be accurate, but it's not a difficult thing to get your head around. Right, so I'm just going to get rid of all these bits for now, and I'll get rid of the snowy bits as well. Those are the bits that go around the base of the house, because I just want to talk about how you can change this so it cuts on the long mat. If you cut it on the long mat, if you can do that, and you can cut these house sides with a base on already on the bottom from tabloid or A3, which they will fit, you've just saved yourself a little bit of assembly, that's all. And it means your box is going to be a little bit easier to assemble. Actually, it's still not difficult, but you'll just have less fitting things together, so there's less opportunity for anything to go wrong. And I'll just quickly show you how you do that. So they're attached, aren't they, from what I did before. So you're just going to I'll just zoom in if I can. You're going to bring a base piece over and you're going to line it up. I'll go as big as I can and then we can see what we're doing. You're going to line it up so the score on this base piece, which is the piece I'm moving, is exactly on the bottom edge of the wall piece, and then move it over so it's exactly lined up with the score there. It just nudged upwards, so I'm going to nudge it down a bit with my cursor key there. Right, and then we need to detach that base piece because it's got the score attached to it at the moment, and so has that wall piece, so we'll detach that as well. And now I'm just going to select the actual red wall piece and the red base piece, and I'm going to unite them. You could weld as well, and then I'm going to send it to the back, because when you do anything it always jumps to the front and just hides the scores. So if you've done that, then you can cut that. We'll just select the scores and the pieces, and then looking at the size of it, it is 403mm, which is well within the length of a tabloid, and it fits nicely within the cutting length of an A3 as well. So that's quite easy to do that. I'll just show you once more. I can zoom out, get another piece. I'll bring it onto this this one this time. Sorry, I'm flying all over the place, aren't I? So again, we can actually use the align thing to align it this time. We'll do the centered horizontally. Could have done that with the other piece as well. And then just so I can see what I'm doing, this base piece that I'm moving, I'm going to make it guide, just so I can see what I'm doing for the for the purposes of lining it up. So if I can just zoom in there, it would help if it wasn't pink, wasn't it? But I can see. Can you see how the score line is completely lined up? And then that is attached, that base piece that I'm moving around. So I'm just going to select what was the cut piece before. I think it's that one, wasn't it? Make that cut. Will it let me do it? Why won't it let me do it? There we are. cut, basic cut, do it. Right, send it to the back. And then there's that score as well, which I made guide so I can see. So we just need to make that score again. And I'll zoom out, because we do need to fold it at the bottom, of course. And then select all those. Did I unite those? I didn't. So you select the base piece and the wall piece. We'll go to unite, send it to the back so we can see the score again. Where's it gone? Right, I did something wrong there. Let's just go back. Is that still attached? No. Where's that score? Where's that score? It is attached. Oh, it is detached. Sorry, I'm being a little bit slow today. Right, again, I'll try it. Select the base and the wall and unite. Make sure it's at the back. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. And then select those scores and that piece and attach. I made that seem a lot harder than it actually is. If you need to see it again, go back to where I showed you with this one, because I did a much better job. But that's that just takes out the extra work of attaching these bases, and it just ends up, you end up with a slightly smoother bottom on the bottom of your box. So it's just that little step you can do if you've got the long mat, and if, like me, you were using A3 to cut from. I think I've shown you everything I need to show you there. I had a little list of things I wanted to include, but I think I've done it. If you've got any questions or issues when you come to cut it, always get in touch. It'll be a simple thing and I can fix it really quickly. And it'll just be something that maybe I haven't explained properly, or that you've done a little bit wrong in the software that you're working in. I don't run scan and cut machines or silhouette machines, but I do have a reasonably good understanding of the software. So if you're struggling with how to use this in those softwares, I might be able to help, but I'm by no means an expert. I just about know enough to give you a version of it. The Canvas Workspace file that I'm talking about, by the way, is a file that you would use with the downloaded version of Canvas Workspace. I might also supply all these things as separate SVGs. That might work, because I know that a lot of you use the online app and you can't take the big format files into there because it's harder to change the size of them. Anyway, we'll have a think about that later. If you've got any questions, as I say, don't hesitate to get in touch. You can contact me on Etsy or Facebook, and even on YouTube if you want. The links for Etsy and Facebook are in the description below this video. And if you've just stumbled across the video and you'd like to buy the SVG, there's a link there to do that as well. Don't forget, if you're purchasing 3 or more SVG files at one time from the Tanglecraft Studio Etsy shop, the link is in the description, you can use the 30 for 3 discount code to get 30% off your total purchase. This offer runs all the time, but you need to use that code when you check out. And if you haven't already joined the Tanglecraft Studio Facebook group, join now to get any special Etsy discount codes issued to group members, and to take advantage of the free SVG files I give away in the group from time to time. The link to the group is in the description. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.